So we've got Karen Griffin here with us, one of our Fit Life members, our everyday hero. How you doing, Karen?
Yeah, good, thank you.
She's fresh out of a fire class, a little bit sweaty. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. I know I'm going to feel it tomorrow or the day after.
Okay, so the reason we've got you here, Karen, is because you've got quite an incredible story of what you've been through in your life and where you are now. And I think it's only right that we share that with people and try to inspire others that may be in a similar position to do what we've done.
Yep.
So if we take it back, I met you 2 years ago, pretty much to the day. I reckon we've dated that back.
Yeah.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And you came to me and sat in my mother's house and decided to make a change in your life.
Yes.
And to commit both time and money to improving your health, well-being, fitness.
Yeah.
So let's take it back to that point. Now you've got lupus.
Yes.
So if you could help us and just explain what lupus is.
Lupus is a very complicated autoimmune disease. There can be any number of symptoms. You can get some of them, and those symptoms can change direction. So most of it for me is inflammation, swelling and pain in the joints. I also get headaches and fever, and I get quite bad mobility problems. So both lack of mobility in the legs and hips and in the arms.
Okay, so that's lupus. And these things come and go, right? You can get flare-ups.
Flare-ups, yeah.
And what happened, or what used to happen to you when a flare-up would happen? How much would it affect your life?
Oh, I'd find it very difficult to walk. I'd stumble. I also get what's called lupus fog, which is your cognitive behaviour goes a bit awry. I would get quite depressed because it's quite painful, and depending how long it went on, it could go on for days, it could go on for weeks, and sometimes I've had them for months.
Okay, so it's a naughty disease, let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's not a very nice.
It's not
disease.
A pleasant thing to be going through.
No.
So, was there one point that happened to you? Or was it a combination of different things where you thought, right, something has to be done here. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to reach out to a personal trainer or someone that can help me. Was there one moment that happened for you?
I would say it was over a couple of weeks. My mobility became particularly difficult. I was stumbling a lot, not being able to step up off a curb without tripping. And my mental well-being got quite bad, and I thought, this has got to stop. I've got to find a way to deal with it, and I thought the best way I can do that I know is through exercise. I spoke with a friend about personal trainers in and around Hadnam, and you were recommended to me. And that was like the life-changing moment, really.
Okay.
For me.
So then, I guess my number was passed. And were there any sort of doubts in your head? Were you scared? Were you thinking, I wonder if I can do it, or what he's going to think, or?
Yeah. What would it be like going to classes? I know. I've been fit in the past, and I know how bad I'd got. What would you think? What would you think? But also, would it hurt? And would pushing myself cause my body to go into a flare-up?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it was pretty daunting.
Yes.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember the call, and I remember you coming and meeting me for the first time and explaining the situation. And if I was completely honest, I'd never heard of lupus before. So I had to do some research on it and find what I could before our first session, which I did. And then that first session we went through some testing
Yes.
exercises. Do you remember?
Yes.
So just very real basic movements like squats, just sitting down, standing up, lunges. And the first thing that struck me was mobility.
Yeah.
The issues in and around your hips, the inability to be able to sit down and stand up without having to rock from side to side.
Yep.
Is that a fair comment?
Yep, absolutely.
So my initial thoughts were, right, that's the first thing that needs to improve. So we started working together twice a week.
Yep.
And how long do you think it took for you to start to realise it was helping?
Well, after the first session, although it wasn't great, I was elated that I'd actually done it.
Yeah.
And then that just spurred me on. Then probably after 3 months, I noticed small changes in what I could do. And particular strength in legs was a really big thing, and not stumbling or dragging my feet. That was probably at 3 months, I think.
Amazing. Okay, so you've done 3 months, all right? We've been training together for 3 months. We used to measure you regularly as well. You were losing a lot of inches. Initially, you lost a lot of weight.
Yep.
That started to plateau.
Yep.
But then we changed the focus, didn't we? Because you did come and you said you wanted to shift some weight. But then we started to change the focus on more about how you felt than what the scales or the body fat was telling us, right?
Yep. It's very difficult to lose weight with lupus because you're on steroids.
Exactly. So we did what we could,
Yeah.
and it worked, and we changed your eating habits as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're 2 years down the line. Okay, we've jumped from the 3 month point to now the 2 years. On Tuesday, you did a fight class, which is probably one of our most intense impact classes, followed straight away by a personal training session.
Yep.
So 1 hour and a half to 2 hours of seriously intense exercise. Was that something that you expected would happen?
Never.
Or is this, talk us through that journey from that first moment to now?
Well, it's an incredible journey. I mean, impact stuff shouldn't really, I should find that quite difficult. I don't. In fact, I love it. I never thought I'd be able to exercise for 1.5 hours. I find I just get spurred on to try and push myself more, test myself more, and sort of with your help get technically better at being able to do things. And like I say, simple everyday things that people take for granted, I've over the period of 2 years noted massive differences in what I can do, which I couldn't do before.
Okay, but let's not, I mean, it's incredible. What you can do now is incredible. And on a day-to-day basis, you're here as regular as anyone I know.
5 times a week, if I can.
5 times a week. And on day-to-day terms, you're very fit and healthy.
Yeah.
But you get the odd flare-up, right?
Yeah.
So what has your ability become in dealing with those flare-ups?
Mentally, probably is there's 2 aspects to it. Mentally, my whole life of looking at, got quite a stressful job, how I deal with things at work, and how I react if I get a flare-up. I can deal with it, and a lot of that is to do with the core strength and leg strength that I've got, means that I just don't stop, which I would have done before. I just work through it because I'm mentally and more physically healthier.
It's incredible. The mental side of it,
Yes.
has enhanced so much just through exercise.
Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of people don't realise happens.
No.
Is
don't.
through physical exercise you can actually increase your mental capacity through
your
daily
mental
life.
Your mental well-being your outlook on life, everything. I could say my life, I'm in such a better place.
And it all really stemmed from that one moment, didn't it?
That one moment, yeah.
So what would your advice be to people or your advice be to yourself 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, when you were suffering with lupus? And this doesn't have to apply to people with lupus. It can be anyone who's suffering from arthritis or bad backs or anything that is affecting their well-being, and maybe is in a position to just kind of give up. I want you to try and give me one tip especially, and let's see if we can squeeze 3 out of what they can do to help themselves.
Just believe that you can make yourself feel better with exercise. Take that first step, because it will change your life. But most of all, just keep at it. Even if you have bad days, you get the end of the bad day and it's gone. Put it behind you and carry on.
Awesome. Yeah, because I mean, just to touch on that, like, you know, we've done untold amount of sessions together now, and I'd say 90% of them we give each other a little high five at the end. You've got a big smile on your face, everything's great. But there has been them 1 or 2 where you don't look yourself, you know, but you still come back, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
We've all been to the gym, or we've had time away from the gym or from physical exercise where it then becomes you get out of habit.
Yeah.
And I think the way you've stuck to that in 2 years is a massive credit to yourself, because with someone with your condition, it could have been just as easy to say, do you know what, my body's had enough now.
Just don't give up on it, because you'll come through it and you'll think, well, you know, I did it, and it'll just spur you on to keep on doing it. And the buzz of, you know, being outside or being in the gym and doing something is amazing.
Awesome. And finally, let's finish up then. Now, you're here, it's January 2017. What are your goals or ambitions now to go on from here? Let's do one short term. So think about, you know, how you can improve physically short term. And then let's say, where do you see yourself in a year, 2 years time?
I'll be retired.
Yes.
from my job. And my goal is to just keep going, keep focused, work on my eating to help the lupus, and focus on those 2 aspects. And I'm looking for a challenge to do sometime in the summer.
What sort of challenge? Physical challenge?
Yeah, possibly a 5k with something in it, obstacles in it.
That would just be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Karen Griffin, thank you very much. You're one hell of an everyday hero.
Sorry.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Let's